January 12th, 2018.
And this is Nerd Bourbon episode 32. I'm Supreme Leader Seth Sturgill.
You ain't shit. And I'm Todd Sturgill.
Oh, I'm shit. You're shit, or you were almost shit just a minute ago before we started recording this podcast. You want to... You know what? No, I was going to let you tell this tale. I'm going to tell my side of the story first.
See, but here's the deal. It's funnier from your side.
I'm sitting here. We're about to record. We're like seconds away from recording. I think you literally, like, we were talking, okay, like this is what we're saying, this, that, and the other. This is the date and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, you go, I just hear you go, oh, is that shit? And I'm just like, what? Like, excuse me? Like, I wasn't sure if, like, you, like, saw something in your, like, periphery or something like that. But no. What ended up happening was, well, like, you're going to fart and you thought there was, like, shit behind it?
So, I'm very wary when it comes to... I will not shit myself like that. I have not done that in years. No, but
you will not be dishonored.
I will not be dishonored like that. So I don't trust anything. That's the way people need to go about it. Word of advice: do not trust any bodily function. Do not trust.
This is true. Yeah, so I was not expecting that.
It's funnier from your side. It's just like I've had a couple moments where I just like say like random shit like, "What? Pasta sauce."
Yeah, there's some good content in there. Is that shit? There was no inner monologue there. It was all outwardly expressed. Oh man, let's record this garbage ass show, Todd.
It's already to a quality start. Let's get this shit going.
You know what though? That's why I made it a point to mention in the like sort of like welcome to our page video on YouTube where I say we might talk about literally poop. It's
true. Poop is a big part of what we are.
It's just gonna happen.
Oh.
Anyway, let's do this. It's kind of nice to talk to you. It's been a few days, I think, since we've actually talked. I think it's been a couple days, which is weird because we normally talk like every day.
Yes.
And, I've missed you.
Yeah, it actually has been a couple days.
Yeah, it has. It's just because, you know, like work and shit and sleep schedules and shit like that. Like it's we haven't talked in a little while, so it's kind of nice. Let's go into the stupid video games we've been playing though over the past week. We've been playing a lot of dumbass shit. Where do we want to start?
I want to start with Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts from I know it was published by Double Fine. I don't know the name of the actual developer, but
is it Meat Telecom or
that might be it. Yeah. It's been in development for a long fucking time actually. Like the prototype first came out like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. And essentially what Gang Beasts is it is a very stupid like brawler, isometric like top-down sort of brawler. I think it's up to 4-player multiplayer. And you essentially play this like blob sort of like Gumby ass, claymation ass like dude with like flailing arms and limbs that you can very loosely control. And it's essentially like, it's almost entirely like ragdoll physics, like even basic movement.
Yeah.
Like, nothing about it feels good or solid. It all feels like it, and like, this is even true about the animation, like, it all feels very, like, loose. Like, imagine essentially that Gang Beasts is like this weird, like, fucked up situation where it's like a fucked up world of like these Gumby ass claymation ass creatures that are all high on muscle relaxers and fighting each other.
That's a good way of putting it. That's definitely a good way of describing it.
That's basically what you're dealing with. So we have had some issues. Like we've only been able to play together like once because
that one game was fantastic though.
Yeah, it was a good time. Like it's fucked up because the PS4 version of the game has had like some pretty major like server issues that are being patched out. Hopefully they'll be patched out soon so we can actually play some more because we had a blast. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, do you want to? I know you've played a little bit more of it than I have.
Yeah, I've kind of jumped into. I was like messing around with like the waves like mode, which is basically like Horde. Which I'm gonna be real, I didn't make it that far.
So I was gonna ask you how that works. So like, is it waves of like enemy AI?
Yes,
Now, do you have to like how do you dispatch of them? Like,
I'm gonna be real. It's hard
I
because
can't
like one
I can't even imagine taking on more than one.
because you're getting ganged up on. Like
Yeah.
both of them will grab me and just lift me above their heads and offer me to the gods.
Bro, like yeah, the combat is not like intuitive. Like it's the kind of thing where like you could get good at it, but it's like you have to you have to swim through a sea of shit.
There's like some special things that you can learn. Like I learned how to Spider-Man climb up walls now. You can like do these diving kicks, diving headbutts. It's all shit. It's all really weird to pull off.
You can adjust to the bullshit, but it's still very like loose and wonky. Like no matter which way you slice it. So I could not imagine taking on more than one enemy at a time.
It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad experience. That's why I said I didn't make it that far. I think the farthest I made it was like wave 3.
It's funny because like I've said in the past about like comedy games, and I almost think that I would consider Gang Beasts a comedy game. Like more so than calling it like a fighting game, because I don't think it's an especially great fighting game.
Oh God, no.
I think it is. I think that waves mode exists purely for comedic purposes. Like they don't expect you to fucking do like 50 waves of like,
Bruh, dude, I make that. I'm telling you, the main reason I started even doing it was like to test out some combat shit.
Yeah.
Instead of like without having to go online or whatever, and it worked out.
It's surprising to me that there isn't like a single player component to it. I'm not looking for like a story, but like an arcade mode, where you can like go through like a set of like 10 rounds of increasing difficulty, I'm a little surprised that something like that isn't in there. But again, I think this game at its base is all about just making you laugh, and it's very good at doing that.
Oh, it's
just
definitely very good at that. Like
we had some good moments.
There was the moment that I think back to a couple moments when me and you were playing. Like there was a part where I had you like I was just dragging you across the roof or something, and it was just like, what the fuck? Like you were hanging off the edge of like this roof, and I'm just like dragging you along. I was like,
yeah, like you were like dragging me like literally along the outskirts of the roof. Like think of like a shitty Batman, like how Batman like hangs people off the roof, but imagine that, but he's just dragging me along all of it.
And then there was the good old the best moment from that is like the whole long live the king moment there.
Yes, that was exactly what I was gonna say. Like there's this moment where like I had Todd, I was basically like pushing him into, we were playing on this map that had like this fire pit.
It's legitimately called the incinerator, I think, the map.
Yeah, I was kind of pushing him into this fire pit, and he was hanging onto the edge or whatever, and I thought I had him. I was like, oh hell yes, I'm about to win this round.
He thought wrong.
Todd, half of Todd's torso is in the fire. He's done. No, Todd does this clutch ass shit where he like is hanging on the edge and like somehow like propels himself in the air, like woo, fucking like jumps out of the fire and like saves himself. I was like, what? The fuck was that?
Dude, it's like
so
the
good.
stupid that game is so good for like stupid shit, and like I can't wait for him to patch it, man. I can't wait for him to patch it because I want to play that shit more. I actually played it with my sister.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hey, want to check out a dumb game?
Yeah, it is very much that. And yeah, I definitely want to play more of it. I don't know if we have too much more to say about it though, just because we haven't been able to play it together. But
yeah, I mean it's a good time. It's a fun time. That's really the bottom line of it.
Speaking of dumb games, another game that we've both been playing separately is Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Holy shit,
man! Isn't there just something about that game?
Like, it hasn't. I don't get like extremely pissed off it because I don't think I can yet because I haven't got like immensely
do.
far. I haven't got that far into it.
What's the?
But,
We
like,
haven't actually talked about this. Where's the farthest you've gotten?
I don't even remember. It's because I fell, and I don't remember exactly where the hell I was. I fell back. I know I fell all the way back down to behind the ore last time I played.
Oh God, yeah, that's I hate that shit. Yeah, that's happened to me. So let's just describe what it is. So, Bennett Foddy is an independent game designer who makes these games where it is very much like his whole like kind of crux is like games that control extremely weirdly and obtusely, and are all about failure, and I guess overcoming failure is the only way to win. And it's the kind of situation where like you're gonna fail a lot, and
That's a fucking understatement.
and that's why it's called Getting Over It, right? And there's a few reasons why it's called that, but this one in particular. So like games he's made in the past, he made like Quap, famously, which is a very stupid game, in which you have to control like the calves and actual like legs of a character, an Olympic athlete. Oh, it's so bad with the Q, W, O, and P keys, and it's like famously hard. Like it's so stupid. And Getting Over It is also already infamously hard. You essentially are playing as this I guess naked man in a cauldron with a sledgehammer, and the weird gameplay gimmick of it is the mouse is what is controlling the tip of the sledgehammer. So, and it's perfectly tracked to the movements of your mouse. So when you're moving your mouse, you're moving the tip of the sledgehammer as well, 1-to-1, right? And basically your objective is to climb to the top of this mountain of increasing difficulty. And my God, and it is so hard. The controls are so difficult to wrap your head around. It is so stupid. Like, in terms of actual production value, it actually is like a lot more polished than Quap is, because Quap is essentially like a Flash game.
Yeah, Quap was definitely a Flash game.
Getting Over It is a legit like game on Steam with like graphical settings and shit like that. But it's funny because like you're getting frustrated and stuff, and it's got this weird aesthetic, and I guess it's an homage, as Bennett Foddy even says in the game. It's an homage to another game called like Sexy Hiking.
Yeah, I think that's the game he talks about.
Yeah, and but the entire time it's playing this weird like lounge jazz kind of music, and like Bennett Foddy is giving you like words of encouragement and shit like that. like as he's like, oh, like if you get really high and you fall down, the game designer, literally Bennett Foddy, narrates, and he's like, oh man, you just lost a lot of progress. Oh, that really sucks. Kind of shit.
And then he'll play like actual like songs and shit.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck?
Like actual songs to like. It's almost like the most like gentle trolling I've ever received.
Gently rubbing salt in the wound.
But like, there's just something. I don't know what sort of like pixie dust exists within this game, but like, there's something that keeps you coming back for more.
Yep.
Like, there's a quality about it where you just want to get over it. God damn.
That's a good way of putting it.
It's not even just like, getting over it, getting over the actual like obstacles, the actual mountain. It's getting over the frustration of playing it. And in fact, when it first starts, Bennett Foddy's like, if you've had a rough day, maybe don't play this.
Don't even touch it. Come back later.
And it's, a funny thing that happened when I first played it. Bennett Foddy at some point is like, oh, don't worry, I'll save your progress, and don't worry, you can quit at any time. I'll save your progress. And at first, I was like comforted by that. I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, I don't have to worry about saving it. But no, he literally means the game is constantly being saved. So if you fall, you fell, bitch. Like,
there's no way to like fucking like quickly exit out.
No, yeah, there's no way of that happening. Like, any mistake you make, you have to live with. and you have to get over it.
Mm-hmm. Just like life.
Just much like life. Getting over it is actually a complex allegory for life. But it's so there's just I don't know. It's like presenting the player with like an insurmountable challenge with a unique control scheme, and there's just something about it where you're just like, I want to beat this motherfucking game.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Like I'm actually surprised that you have taken to it as much as you have. I wouldn't think this would be the kind of thing you would like.
I like dumb shit.
I know you like dumb shit, and I know you like challenging shit. This being the Dark Souls of sexy hiking.
Like, oh god, I hate you. Well, like, I am the type of person, I have jumped into just stupid games before. Like, shit, I played Goat Simulator.
Oh, I love Goat Simulator, dude. I fucking love it.
I played a good amount of Goat Simulator back when that shit came out.
You laugh, I legit put like 30 hours into Goat Simulator.
I can, yeah.
That game is so fun. It's
just a fun time.
There's something to be said for that, man. Like you might look at these games as like being like weird or trash or something. There's something to be said. Like, at least it is unique. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never played a game like Getting Over It. I've never played a game like that. Yeah. And it's a unique experience that is only happening in the indie scene right now. And we joke all the time, oh, Seth's indie corner, Seth only plays indie games type shit. But
indie games are where it's at for like some just like uniqueness in games.
Yeah, like, you don't get that shit in AAA games for good reason, right? But like, you can go on Steam and spend, $7.99 on Getting Over It and have a legitimately, and it is well designed. Like, it is not as if, I think the reason that it isn't innately frustrating and the reason that it is extremely frustrating at the same time is because when you fuck up, it's your fault. Mm-hmm. It is not, the game does not have any like bad hitboxes or like, any wonkiness with like the way the mouse tracks. Like, it is always the player's fault when you fuck up. It is always your fault. It is always because of something incorrect that you did. And it's just funny the ways that you have to like kind of pick up like movement techniques. Like kind of like propelling yourself off the ground by like a downward thrust of the sledgehammer and shit like that. Like, the way you sort of pick up shit like that is really interesting. And, it goes to some dumb places. I've gotten pretty fucking far and then fell down. Ooh. And then fell down, like you said. Like, I got up to... There's a section, I don't know if you've gotten this far or not, but there's a section where there's a lot of, like, jumbled furniture.
Okay. I know that. I know of that part. I haven't got there yet.
Yeah. And, like, I'm just sort of, like, gingerly, like, making my way past it, and there's, like, this bucket that you have to, like, sit yourself on, otherwise you're just not quite high enough. And if you fuck it up, dude, you're going all the way down. So, yeah, the last time I quit out, I was at the ore part.
Dear Lord, that sucks.
It's rough, dude. And then, the whole time, Bennett Foddy's just like, oh, man. Oh, just like, shut the fuck up, Bennett Foddy. It's funny because when the game first came out, I was watching a few streamers play it, and they had the narration and the sound and everything turned off, and I was wondering why, and that's exactly why. They were getting pissed off at him. They didn't want to hear his shit.
Yeah, that's funny. What else you been playing this week?
We you and I dove into PUBG for the first time.
Oh shit! I don't know why I completely forgot about PUBG.
Yeah, dude. We actually have had a lot of fun playing PUBG.
Yeah, we played about. I think we played like two
what,
games.
Two or three games.
Two or three games. I mean, we didn't get very far, but like
no.
I can definitely say that because I think both of our like first introduction to the whole like battle royale sort of thing has been Fortnite.
Right.
And I was like, I like Fortnite, but I think me and you kind of both agree on like we just like the whole crafting thing of Fortnite is to me.
I like the simplicity of PUBG.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer that. I like how, like, to me, PUBG is just, like, there are systems and mechanics at play, but, like, yeah, like, the crafting to me in Fortnite, that's what a lot of people love about Fortnite. To me, it's just a step a little too far.
It's something. It's another thing that I have to think about doing, and I just can't add it to my repertoire of like muscle memory type shit. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, like whereas in PUBG, like everything just feeds together. It's a very very simple, like you just shoot dudes.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, you have a pretty good at shooting people.
Yeah, and it's funny. I solo queued a few. I've solo queued a few times since
have
we've
you?
played. Yeah, and the highest I've ever gotten is rank I think 16
That's not bad.
is the highest I've ever gotten. I have not won any chicken dinners yet. But I will win a chicken dinner one day, Todd.
You shot me.
Yeah, that's a good one. We should tell that story. So we actually did pretty well that game, I think. What were we
Yeah, we were pretty well loaded. I think we were like ranked 22 in duos or some shit. You were in a shed. And I'm just sitting there kind of like running up behind you. But then I see a fucking buggy pull up. I'm like, oh shit. They instantly pop out, start shooting me. I'm like low health. I basically get down like the second I get up to the shed. And I'm like, dude, there's people. They're coming in. Your ass. I hate you. Instantly walk out. I think you had a shotgun. Instantly, you just pop me on the ground. I was like,
No, so no. So what happened was there was two people that came in behind us, right?
yeah.
They took you down basically instantly, and you were down crawling on the ground like right by the door of the
Yeah.
shed or small house. The other people, so when I saw you go down, I basically like crouched and like waited. And I was like, okay, like somebody's going to be running in. And I downed the other person. I downed the
Okay.
first person that ran in, and I went to finish them off because they ran outside where you were.
You
But-
finished someone off.
But I went to finish them off, and I see somebody down, and I'm like, oh, that's them. So I just pump them full of lead, and it was you. So like I mistakenly like killed you, and then their partner killed me, and I'm sure revived them and carried
Of
on.
course. Carried on with
But-
their life.
But we are very good at going into the outskirts and just sort of loading up and surviving for a little while. I think if it actually came down to it, I don't know. We'd have to get way better before we won some chicken dinners, but
Yeah, definitely. The thing with me with that game is just like I was like this with Fortnite too. I always try to go to like the places where nobody else is going.
yeah, because it just becomes a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I'm not trying to deal with the clusterfuck because I actually like I think it was like the second game we played. We like sitting there, we're parachuting in. All of a sudden, I see a fucking a multitude of motherfuckers in the same area. I'm like, oh no, we're moving from here. We're
Yeah,
going
we
to
just
the
see
left.
we jump out and we think we're like at a good spot, and then we just see like 3 or 4 other parachutes like in the distance. Like, oh fuck this, we're leaving.
We're pussies
basically-
in battle royale games.
Yeah, that's basically our MO with PUBG so far. Is we jump out, we find a place that we think is like isolated, and we just kind of move from point to point, trying to gear up and hopefully not running into opposition in our way. It was funny. I when I was solo queuing, I was sitting there on the sort of outskirts, and I was surviving and everything, and I was loading up, and the I guess force field sort of thing was closing in on me.
Mm-hmm.
So it made for this moment, this kind of like movie moment where I'm seeing the force field like close in behind me, and
Are
I'm
you just like
frantically-
slowly running? Like
just frantically, yeah, like running away, trying to not get caught in it, and you don't instantly die.
it gets so the deal with the force field is like as it gets smaller, like by the time like you're at the last one, that's like the when the force field is like basically the center of the map, that shit will basically kill you. But like the first time
Yeah.
when the first couple times it basically increases the amount of health it takes every time that it actually reduces the
That
map.
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, because with I think I was getting caught by the first or second one.
Yeah,
the
it
first
doesn't.
or
It just
second
kind of it
reduction.
does like a couple hits of health, like every couple seconds or some shit.
Yeah, it was basically just doing like chip damage, but it was like enough to be worried about.
Yeah.
Like I was still trying to like frantically run and get into the middle. It was like rough, dude. But yeah, I placed I think like 16 or something like that in that game, and I was pretty happy with that. I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Not bad.
That's not bad considering that you come into a game of like, 80 to 100 people depending.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. It's a good time. Like I'm actually really surprised because when we played Fortnite, I was like, like, I guess I can somewhat see the appeal, but
Yeah, PUBG. I like just in the first couple games. I'm like, yeah, I like this way more. Like already.
yeah, like I can see what the appeal of PUBG is. Like I can, again, I think it's the simplicity. I think its gameplay hook is and its like core gameplay loop is so much more streamlined than Fortnite. And some people again like the added complexity of Fortnite. For me, PUBG fits into the battle royale mold a lot more nicely than Fortnite ever has. So I don't know. That's PUBG. We're gonna be playing it more for sure. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we get into this special treat we have planned?
Any other games you've been playing or nah?
I mean, not really. I mean, I've just been playing like stuff on my Switch, like Ukulele and Stardew Valley, and basically stuff that I've talked about in the past, and isn't really worth like bringing back up. Ukulele runs well on Switch. I don't really have much to say about it other than that. I've definitely played more of it on Switch than I ever did with PS4.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so it's nice.
I've been telling you. I got back into. So my buddy Ronald got back into Rainbow Six. So I re-downloaded it, checking it, playing it again with him. I've actually gotten way better at that game since I've actually been playing it more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was absolute garbage back when I was first starting to play it.
But you were still having fun.
Oh, I was still having fun, but like I was garbage.
If I see that game on sale at some point, I might pick it up because that game is something that I've kept my eye on for a little while.
It's a fun time. Like if you just like here's again, I always say it like he wants me to play ranked with him, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to play ranked.
No,
like,
dude, I don't want to get that sweaty.
Like dude, this is my thing. I don't take games seriously like that. Like I just want to have a good time. Like
yeah, that's like it's my leisure hours. I just want to like sit back and enjoy myself.
Like, I don't want to be pissed at a video. I don't want to be sitting there getting pissed. Like, it's not fun to me.
That's why I never did, like, Trials and Destiny and stuff like that. Again,
Well, we legitimately did Trials to get the trophy, and that was it.
That was it.
And that one win was a journey.
Yeah, like, it gets so fucking sweaty. Like, competitive multiplayer games that are, like, ranked and stuff like that. I've never been into that. Never.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to play casually.
It's not my cup of tea. Never has been.
Yeah. But shall we delve into this treat that we have today?
Oh yes. I mean I know what we're doing, but I don't know any of the specifics.
Yes. So essentially, what I've done, and this is something that I stumbled upon on the internet. I think I saw it on Reddit like months ago, and I approached Todd. I was like, so when we come back from Christmas break, we need to do this in one of our episodes. Essentially what it is an online generator that takes a collection of video game titles and mashes them up. And sometimes you just get fucking trash, like just a bunch of random like garbage that makes no sense, but other times you get gold.
Okay.
And you just get really good like video game titles where the mashup titles like that are just very like laugh out loud funny, and you can just sort of imagine the implications that the titles provide of what the game might be based on other franchises. So I sat for like an hour or so just getting like quality titles, and I have a handful here. And what I want us to do, you don't know any of these titles for the most part that I've collected here. And I want to go through this list, and I want us to workshop these games and sort of like I'll reveal the title to you, and we'll sort of talk out what this game might be.
Okay.
So insert the Jigsaw, like I want to play a game. Shit, put that in right here.
Originally, well, before we move on, originally it was supposed to be me doing it because I used to be able to do a really, really good Jigsaw impression. I cannot do it anymore.
Yes.
I mean, I probably could still do it. It's just I think I would need to like kind of like lock myself into a room and become Jigsaw.
Slap yourself, look at yourself in the mirror.
Again, I really wish that video still existed.
Oh, it's such a so. Now that the fucking gate has been opened, we have to reveal what the video is. Todd had this video years and years ago where Do we want to get into specifics?
We don't need to get into the specifics. It was just it was more or less like, so me and my buddy, I just mentioned him, my buddy Ronald, back like shit. How many years ago was this? Like probably like 5 or 6 years ago now.
Longer than that, probably.
Yeah, it was back when, like, whenever Modern Warfare 3 was out. That's when we were doing me and him were doing YouTube. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I think you got mad. I think you were kind of like a little mad at one point when we had about like almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Well, I wasn't mad. I was like, see, this is that kind of like back in Call of Duty's heyday. Any Call of Duty channel was getting.
Yeah,
like,
you can grow. But like, my buddy was playing off like some certain things, so it worked out for him. He was like trying to be like a beacon type shit for a community, and it was a good time. Like we had a lot of fun, and that was like we just kind of like did that video as because like I was like already doing that, like that impression for just to fuck with him.
It was just again, we don't need to get into specifics of the content of the video, but the point is there was a video of Todd, and it was a very funny video. Wherein he was playing sort of Jigsaw, and Ronald was like the pawn in his game.
Oh yes,
and it was pretty good. So anyway, knowing that Todd had that Jigsaw impression in his wheelhouse, I was going to have him do it, but we'll insert it anyway. Todd, it's time for us to play a game. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do this shit.
Greetings and welcome. I want to play a game.
Okay. The first game on my list here. I'm gonna give you a softball to start off. This is not. I don't know what series these titles are coming from. It's a 2-word title.
Okay.
Sensible Soccer.
Sensible Soccer.
Yes. I liked this title because it just... I'm like, oh, it's like soccer, but it's like sweet. So, what are the first things you think of when you hear Sensible Soccer? What kind of game is this?
For some reason, I mean, it's obviously a soccer game, but it's just like... for some reason in my mind, I'm picturing like these chibi characters kicking around a like large soccer ball for some reason. I don't know why.
You're exactly right. I thought of that too, sort of like chibi. Like I like these sort of like anime tinge that you're bringing to this, because that is where my head went. However, let me give you my take on this. I was thinking that this would be like half soccer game, half dating sim between the soccer players.
Oh, God bless.
So it's like Sensible Soccer, but like what happens in the locker room type shit.
Oh Lord, I love it.
So it's like a soccer dating sim with these anime soccer characters, these chibi anime soccer characters that you have to, they're all very sensitive. They all have like very emotions are running high on the, in the locker room, just as they are on the soccer field.
On and off the court.
On and off the court, emotions are running high. Todd. Sensible Soccer coming to all platforms. I would play it.
Oh, that's some good shit.
The next one I have, it is a game. It's the next entry, Todd, in a series that you and I both know and love. It's a new Fallout game. Okay, Fallout: Stranger's Deer Hunt.
Holy shit! What?
So
what's come to mind is obviously what's my first thoughts right now is just like straight up like it's a deer hunt game, but you're killing Fallout characters or Fallout creatures and shit.
Is this like a fever dream I have, or like doesn't Fallout already have like radiated deer, like rad stags? Is that a thing?
Yeah, rad stags. Yeah, that's a thing.
Right.
Like
right.
It was a thing in Fallout 4 is when we see them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a game, and it says Deer Hunter specifically, so we can't shoot any other game.
You don't know that. No.
Oh, I mean, I don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never played a deer hunting game, but I would assume that you only shoot deer.
I feel like you kill more than deer.
So maybe. So there are other things. Maybe you could kill mole rats or something like that. You are a hunter I guess we'll say it's in the Commonwealth since that's the only place that we know that radstags are.
Okay.
You are a hunter in the Commonwealth, and the crux of the game is that you go out into the Commonwealth and hunt deer, radstags, mole rats, and you take it and trade back to the surrounding towns. And there's like an economy to the game.
Okay.
Now here's the thing that we haven't discussed. Let's not forget that it's called Strangers Deer Hunt. Now, where I think that the strangers part comes in is I think that they got that piece of the title from Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Okay.
Which is actually an awesome game wherein you play as this like bounty hunter sort of sheriff kind of guy. And so I'm almost wondering if that plays into it a little bit. Like maybe you are sent out on like deer related bounties. Like maybe you have to go out into the Commonwealth and fulfill bounties that are, hunting based.
Okay.
And
now, what sort of game would this be? Would this be like would it be just like strictly an FPS?
I do think it would be first person. Here's what I think, because these deer hunting games are typically like, I think they're typically like static screen, right?
They've gotten to the point where the old ones were definitely static screen. Yeah, now more or less now you could actually move in the games.
Do you have an actual character, like where you can actually move around and shit?
I think so. The newer ones are like that.
I need to brush up on my deer hunting game knowledge.
Well, apparently you do.
But yeah, so I guess so. I thought that maybe in the towns it would be like more like a typical Fallout game where you talk and trade your product and stuff like that. And maybe there's even a crafting element because it is in the Commonwealth. Maybe you have to craft your own gear and stuff like that with like your radstag.
Craft new rifles and stuff.
Yeah, maybe materials are needed in order to craft new rifles, new hunting gear.
Is it wrong? I'd actually play this game.
Yeah, I'd play it. Fallout Strangers Deer Hunt. Make it happen, Bethesda. Get off your ass.
No, they're too busy porting Skyrim to Android.
Yeah, some real shit. Porting it to the Nokia N-Gage. The next game on my list is Hello Kitty Memoryx Gate. So, I'm thinking of a dark Hello Kitty RPG.
That's kind of what went where I went. Like I'm like, what is this? Like some like Hello Kitty got real?
Yes, I'm thinking of like a Baldur's Gate style old school point and click RPG with like deep systems and great characters set in the Hello Kitty universe.
Holy shit.
Where like you explore this I don't know what, do you know anything about the Hello Kitty universe, Todd?
No, I don't, man.
I'm wondering what Hello Kitty's land is called, like what the sort of world of Hello Kitty is called. But it would be a sort of dark take on here's a good question. Would it be Hello Kitty as we're used to seeing her, or would it be sort of a grim take on Hello Kitty, like she just looks like a fucking feral, real white cat,
like a non-chibi version of Hello Kitty?
Like
I'm more leaning to like this grim, like feral-looking version. Like
she's got like this matted fur, this matted white fur, and she's wearing like, maybe she has like some steampunk goggles and like a fucking like sword on her back.
I'm digging it.
But it's still, like, there has to be aspects of it, like, maybe she still has, like, a barrette in her hair or something like that. Like, there has to be, like, elements of the character design that still very much read Hello Kitty, you know?
Yeah.
God, I would play any and all of these fucking games. And I still have so much more. So, the next one on my list is a sequel out of time, Todd. No pun intended. A sequel that we never got to a series that I thought actually could have been something if handled properly back on original Xbox. So, Blinks 2, The Italian Job.
Which game was that?
You don't remember Blinks the Time Sweeper?
No,
come on, Todd. Blinks the Time Sweeper was a like third-person action-adventure game on original Xbox. If you Google this real quick, you will recognize it. You play as this cat with like goggles, and he has this like time manipulating sort of device. And
shit!
You remember this now?
That fucking game.
Did you play this?
Yes.
Yes. So think of this like with the time control and everything, but used as a heist game because it's called Blinks 2: The Italian Job, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this would have to be a heist game wherein you play as Blinks with the time control mechanics. Now, would it still be this like third person kind of perspective that Blinks had? That's my question. Or would it be like a first person heist game? Would it basically be like Blinks by way of like GTA 5?
I think they should stick with a third person if this was an actual game. You know, like
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that game.
Oh, I didn't. Never forget, Todd.
Oh shit.
Never forget about Blinks. I actually thought for a long time, I was like, man, Blinks could have like been something if they actually like handled it well. I thought that this was kind of Xbox's attempt of like having a mascot character.
Yeah.
Like a Crash Bandicoot or like a Ratchet and Clank or something like that. Like that was kind of their attempt at it, and it just fucking failed. But yeah, I would play the Italian Job version of this where is there heist planning like there is in GTA 5? You have to lay out the heist, and you got to think too. You got to remember this is Blinks, right? So the core mechanic is time control.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be time based. This Italian job, this titular Italian job that Blinks is undertaking has to be very time based. Time management is going to be key in this game. Yeah.
I swear to God, every game that we're talking about is something that I would actually play.
The next game on my list is Tony Hawk's Biohazard 2004.
God, yes.
Where does your mind go when you hear that title?
Now, I want it to be a Tony Hawk zombie game.
Right, but what implications does that have?
No. One, it's the last couple Tony Hawk games have been basically open, like free roam.
Right.
Right. Give me an open world skateboarding game, zombies.
An open world like survival based. Like think of like a what's that fucking game? What's that game on Xbox that everybody likes? State of Decay. Right?
Yeah.
Think of like a State of Decay type scenario where your main mode of navigation is a skateboard. Here's the deal, though. Here's the twist, Todd. In this world, this is where my head went. In this world, the zombies are not after the brains. They're after the boards.
Ooh.
The skateboard is what the zombie wants, not you.
Okay.
So your skateboard is your weapon. It is your resource. It is your mode of transport. It is the most precious thing in this world to you.
So the thing is, so is it like do we have to protect the single skateboard, or would there be a mechanic to where you could legit sacrifice the current board you have to get away from safety?
That's a
good
one. And it would also have to. There would have to be okay. So you're suggesting that the skateboards should be like expendable, like,
yes,
to where like you kind of throw it almost like a pipe bomb in Left 4 Dead. You throw it and like
they sit there and they chase after it, and you're able to get away. You can get away.
I love this idea. Yeah. So you like throw the skateboard. Now that's gonna that would be a good tactic because at that point the zombies are like, I don't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now. The only other way that I think maybe the zombies would have a slight interest in you is because your character would have to have like a backpack or something like that filled with like resources for crafting other boards.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Maybe even just the resources. Like the zombies get a hard on even for just like they want the bearings and the trucks of the fucking skateboard. They're like, oh man. I would play this.
I would play the
all
shit out of
these.
that. I'm gonna be real.
The next game on my list is Daffy Duck Chaos Seed.
Daffy Duck Chaos Seed?
Yes. Thoughts?
I don't know.
Here's where my head went. I thought of a sort of a sort of dark simulation wherein you're planting other Looney Tunes, right? Like other cartoon characters.
Okay.
You're planting them and having to care for them as if they're plants. In these sort of like, you're playing as Daffy Duck, and he is this sort of deranged madman.
Seth, you're showing people a window into your dark mind.
Oh, this entire podcast is a window into my dark mind. And you're planting these characters and caring for them as if they're seeds. Think of like you saw that the episode of the new episode of Black Mirror in the new season, USS Callister, where he has just like these slaves, essentially, these virtual slaves. Daffy Duck is taking care of other Looney Tunes like that, and that is his chaos seed.
Oh dear Lord.
That's my thought. Do you have any contradicting thoughts or anything you wanna go off of that?
I'm gonna let you do you with that one.
All right. The next one on here, this is one that I revealed to you because you were talking about Rainbow Six to me earlier. This is Rainbow Six Flags.
And I think we both went to the same place, like a shooting game in an amusement park.
Yes, that's the obvious place. However, I'm imagining, oh my god, there's so many implications this has. I'm imagining, could you imagine playing a multiplayer shooter where the opposing team are on roller coasters?
Oh dear Lord.
Where like you're on a roller coaster and you're having to shoot at your enemy while you're like going upside down in a roller coaster.
That'd be honestly really hard to do, but it would be fun.
That'd be fun as fuck. And like, oh man, I'm thinking about all the Easter eggs you can put in.
Oh, dude, yeah, you can do a lot of shit.
I'm thinking of just this vast like open world. You're in Six Flags, right? Is Six Flags is the one with Looney Tune characters, right?
I mean, like which one? Like Great America had the one that by me is the one. That
so it's different. Okay, so different Six Flags have different rights.
I mean, I don't know if like Looney Tunes is a thing, like all of them, but like there is like the kids. I'm going by the one that I go to, which is Great America.
That's the one that I always grew up with, is Great America, and I remember they had Looney Tunes.
Yeah, they had like the little kid area. They had like the Jetsons, like a little shitty kid roller coaster.
Oh my god!
They had some Looney Tunes. They had some Looney Tunes shit, I think.
Oh my god! Area. Could you imagine like Jetsons weapon pickups?
Oh dear Lord.
You know, like I'm thinking of like a sprawling open world shooter set inside of a defunct Six Flags.
I'd be down for it. Like, I think the bottom line is me and you like dumb shit. So.
Yes. The next game on my list is Prince of Bananas. I think that the jumping point of this was Prince of Persia.
Yeah, that's where my mind went. Like I was assuming it's from Prince of Persia.
Yeah, Prince of Bananas. So, are you yourself a banana? That's my first question. That's the first thing we need to decide. Are you a banana?
No, you're not a banana.
So, when you are saying, so the Prince of Persia, assumedly, he is the literal prince of the land in which he's from. So, is he like from a fucking like land full of bananas? Like, what's his deal? Where do the bananas come in? Where's the banana angle?
I mean, you could go that route, but that'd be the easiest route to take.
Doesn't the Prince of Persia typically have? So I've only played like a handful of Prince of Persia games, but doesn't he typically have like a dagger or something like that?
Yeah, and I want him to have a banana dagger.
Yes, I'm thinking of banana-based weaponry here. That's what I'm thinking of. And I know that a typical Prince of Persia trope is like kind of like flags or like banners that you kind of like slide down using your dagger and stuff. All of them are yellow. First of all of them are yellow. Maybe here's a thought that I just had. maybe the enemies in the game are like a warring faction. Maybe you come from like the Banana Clan, and
Banana Clan.
you maybe Todd. Oh my god, I'm a fucking genius. Todd, maybe you come from. Are you familiar with the clothing store, the Banana Republic?
Oh god, I hate you so much. As soon as you said clothing store, I already know where this fucker's going.
Todd, do you? I'm suggesting that you are the Prince of the Banana Republic.
Okay.
And you're at war with the tyrannical Orange Clan. And so, this is so fucking stupid. I love it.
I love every second of this. Now, are we calling them the Orange Clan, or shall they be the Orange Dynasty or the Orange Empire?
Oh yeah, Orange Dynasty's good. Good pool. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Orange Clan is too simple. I don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Orange Dynasty. So you are the Prince of Bananas. You hail from the Banana Republic, and it is. We haven't talked about gameplay at all. So, Prince of Persia's typical thing is like a time manipulation sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is that just the first one?
I mean, they kind of been. I think they've usually been doing. They've been doing the time travel thing for a while now.
Yeah, because I knew the first Sands of Time was the one that I played a lot. I played that one, and then I played the 2008 like Nolan North one, and both of them had time-based mechanics in it, but I didn't know if the other ones did or not.
Yeah, both of them. Like it's like the dagger has like the Sands of Time or some shit. Yeah.
So the time-based mechanic for this one, I knew the Sands of Time was like a limited resource. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you could just unlimited. I think the way it worked is you could only rewind to a certain point. So does he take back the banana peel to a certain point? Because you can't infinitely peel a banana.
The peel of time?
Yes. This is exactly where I'm going. Yeah. I think so. It sounds like the gameplay is mostly unchanged. It's just the set dressing.
Yeah, basically.
So, Prince of Bananas. I'm cool with that. I have two more, Todd. I'm saving the best one for last. The last one is my favorite title. It's the one that where when I saw it pop up, I just like burst into laughter, and I knew exactly where it was going. I think we're both gonna go to the same place, but the title is just great. But I'm gonna one more before then. So, Pac-Man World at War.
Oh God bless. Now, is this gonna be a modern Pac-Man, like a third-person Pac-Man?
I sort of feel like it should be, but I don't know. So since it's Pac-Man, like, what is considered war in Pac-Man's world? You know what I mean?
The ghosts go crazy. I don't know.
Well, so my take on this is that, war has its own ghosts associated with it. Maybe this is like a sort of like, how Wolfenstein, like the new Wolfenstein games kind of like touch on like more like heady topics,
yeah.
And like BJ Blazkowicz has like PTSD. Maybe Pac-Man has PTSD, and like Inky, Blinky, and Clyde are like his dead friends, and he's literally being haunted by the ghosts. Like, he is quite literally being haunted by, like, the ghosts of his past wars.
Okay.
And the entire game, much like Pac-Man itself, Todd, is about him overcoming the ghosts of his past.
Now, what sort of gameplay are we getting with this?
Yeah, that's my big struggle, because it can't be first person, because, I mean, you're playing as fucking Pac-Man. So is it an over-the-shoulder sort of situation?
Maybe.
Where,
that'd work.
You just see the back of his stupid, like, round body.
Round yellow body, yeah.
So, in Smash Brothers, Pac-Man has, like, legs and arms.
Yeah. So
that wouldn't be so far-fetched, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, there is a Pac-Man that has, like, a face and, like, arms and legs and shit. It's weird.
Right. And this would be the Pac-Man that we're talking about. This Pac-Man with the face and the arm. Like, this would be the protagonist. Now, I'm wondering though. I don't feel like he should be using guns or anything like that. What is his method? Is he literally gonna? Are you gonna have to run up to your enemies and just eat them?
Mike Tyson some motherfuckers.
Just fucking eat them. Just waka waka, bitch. You know. What is the opposing force? If it's a war, what is he warring against? And when will Miss Pac-Man be introduced?
Never, Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, I know.
What?
I got it. Miss Pac-Man's not dead. She's not dead. There has to be some glimmer of hope for this sad son of a bitch. I got it. So the way that we're going to populate this world, the warring factions are different Namco games.
Okay.
So Dig Dug, Galaga, like that's how it's like this Namco sort of video game universe.
So the world, it's the world that is at war is the Namco world, basically.
Right. The Namco world is in fucking disarray. I'm talking about, you see those little like orange motherfuckers from Dig Dug like running rampant in the streets. You see like ships from Galaga having dogfights in the sky, like blowing each other up and shit like that. And Pac-Man, which if you think about it, really, Pac-Man is probably, in terms of all the Namco games, is probably has the most like intimate set of characters. It's just Pac-Man and the ghosts, right?
Yeah.
All the other games have like several other enemies and characters and stuff like that. Pac-Man is sort of like in his own little universe in all of this. Mm-hmm. So Pac-Man would be sort of the lone warrior in the Namco war. God, this is such a stupid podcast.
I love this. This is good. I'm enjoying this.
All right, we have one last one, and then we'll wrap it up. This was the title that just really jumped out at me. I had to include this. Sesame Street Fighter.
Oh, God bless. Can I be the holy shit? I want to be Big Bird beating the shit out of people.
So yeah, that's, I mean, it's very obvious, right? Like where you go with that title.
It's gonna be a Street Fighter game, but just with Sesame
Street characters, right? However, how deep down the rabbit hole do we want to go with this? Is it like, what is the character roster going to be? Because you go Big Bird, I want to play motherfucking Snuffy.
I want to play that ass. Like I feel like you should grab everybody. You know, it's like have a pretty large roster. You know, get as much people as you can. I'll kick your ass with Elmo. Like shit. Here's
the thing though. Here's the deal. So if it's Sesame Street Fighter, the thing about Sesame Street, I'll take this quote from The Office. It's about puppets in the barrio. And it's true because like they have a lot of human characters. So is there going to be a Mr. Hooper, playable Mr. Hooper in this fighting game? Are we gonna touch on the human characters of Sesame Street fighting the other? And furthermore, why are they fighting? I think that's what we need to figure out. I think that's the challenge of Sesame Street Fighter. Is why these characters are fighting. They're so about love and learning.
They're gonna teach him with force now.
This is the true lesson you need to learn, motherfucker. You're about to learn a lesson, bitch. Now, here's the thing. So, the crux of Street Fighter typically is like a sort of like tournament, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
usually
the crux of like the arcades? So, what sort of tournament? Like in a tournament scenario, in an arcade ladder of Sesame Street Fighter, I'm just wondering what like the end game is. You know, there's so much to unpack here.
There's a lot of shit we can talk about with this title here.
I don't feel like we should do the human characters, and here's why. Maybe Big Bird's motivation. One of the saddest episodes, Todd, of Sesame Street is a timeless episode, Todd, is when Big Bird learns the concept of death by Mr. Hooper dying because the actor died in real life.
Okay.
So maybe human characters aren't in it. Maybe Big Bird's motivation is he thinks he can get Mr. Hooper back somehow by fighting these other, in this tournament or whatever.
Okay.
Is that a fever dream of mine, or is like I thought that like the whole concept of Street Fighter was that it was like a tournament and like at the end of it you're like granted a wish or some shit. Am I fucking weird? I think I'm just fucked up in the head.
I feel
Is
like
that a concept? Is that a concept of like another fighting game? Maybe.
I mean, that's a concept that exists in like other things. I don't know about Street Fighter. I know that's a thing in like Dragon Ball, but like I don't know if it's like a.
God, I don't know. For some reason, I thought Street Fighter was like that. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that I don't know. What sort of move sets? Like, how do you think these characters are going to interact?
I'm gonna be real. I want Big Bird's neck to stretch.
Okay, so you want him to be like
Dhalsim.
the Dhalsim. Okay. You want him to be the Dhalsim of this game.
Yes.
How do we want like Cookie Monster? What's Cookie Monster's ult? What's his special move? Just fill in the screen with fucking cookies that he's eating?
Is it? I'm trying to think where I want Cookie Monster to be on like the raw, like what he would be doing with his shit.
I feel like Cookie Monster would sort of be the E Honda of the game.
That's where my mind was going.
Yeah.
Like now I want Bert and Ernie to be
This was going to be my next point. Bert and Ernie, are they going to be like a duo character? Like two characters in one?
Is it they could do that, or a part of me wants them to be the Ken and Ryu.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so I feel like instead of a Hadouken, like Ernie needs to throw out the rubber ducky, what role is Oscar the Grouch going to play in all of this?
M. Bison. No.
No, I'll tell you who's M. Bison. Count.
Yeah.
Count Von Count.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the M. Bison of this game. That's like the big bad of this game is the Count. Oh man.
I'm trying to think
where fuck shit up.
Oscar the Grouch. Is it wrong? Just because I want him to throw his trash can lid like Guile Sonic Boom.
That's not bad. I was also, my first thought when I think of Oscar the Grouch is I think of him as sort of the Blanca-esque character.
Okay.
Like he sort of turtles up in the garbage can.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe the garbage can produce an electric current or something like that.
Remember I used to do that shit all the time, do you?
Yeah, you're straight bitch turtling with Blanca. No, man. That's what I got though. Those are the titles that I brought to the table, Todd. Are you happy with the games that we've produced? I'm
gonna be real. I want that zombie game.
The Tony Hawk one, yeah.
Yes.
I want most of these games. I think shit. We've produced quality content. Game developers, you need to fucking be listening to this. I need to be creating every single one of these. I want Tony Hawk's Biohazard 2004. God damn it. But you know what I want more than that, Todd?
Skate 4.
Yes. Skate. I should have put that on the list. Skate 4 is a no-brainer, Todd.
Skate 4 is always in my heart.
Anyway, you got anything else to say? Now that we've signed, sealed, and delivered the concepts for these amazing timeless games. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
I think we're good. I think we've covered it.
Think we've produced enough garbage this week.
Oh, we definitely have.
Much like Oscar the Grouch in Sesame Street Fighter. You guys have been listening to Nerd Bourbon. If you've had a good time listening to us workshop these garbage ass video game mashup titles and talk about the weird, stupid games we've been playing, why don't you go ahead and throw us a follow or a sub on whatever service you're listening to us on. If there's a service we aren't currently on that you want us on, let me know so I can make that happen. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, please leave them. If you leave me a Q, I will provide an A in the next episode. You can actually get your questions read on the show. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdbourbon, and we are at nerdbourbon on Twitter. And as I always say, the best and only way, really, that we have to grow is if you tell your friends about us. So thank you guys so much for listening. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
That's why I know the first year I showed myself in my true color, which is orange. Actually, I'm still orange. If I ever took a bath, you'd see it. This is mold and moss. Makes me happy.
Why did I make this?